Beep. Anyway, I'm sitting next to Megan. Actually, she had her arm around me, but she
It's a joke.
it's a joke. Okay, anyway, this is our my 14th day doing 100% raw. I just want to kind of review some of the things I'm doing, and Megan will review some of the things she's doing. And she's also going to talk about flexitarianism.
Flexitarian.
I'm still doing 100% raw. Yeah, why don't you talk? I don't feel like talking.
Okay. Well, okay, so Arnold's been doing 100% raw. He's been exercising,
Right.
rebounding,
Right.
not eating after it gets dark,
Right.
except for, I don't know what happens tonight because it was a potluck.
Yeah, potluck today. And actually, what it is happened today, I had a little too much avocado, which means I had like two and a half avocados. When that happens, my energy takes a dive.
And you had 2 sneezing fits today.
And I had 2 sneezing fits today. That's
Like,
right.
you sneezed like 10 times in a row.
Right,
I was like,
right.
what's going on over there? You're like,
Too much fat.
probably.
Probably too much fat.
Probably.
Downfall of most raw foods. Too much fat.
And for the past, what is it, 9 days?
14 days.
14 days. Well, I've been making an attempt to not eat after it gets dark or, shortly after that, and just have several hours before I go to bed, with me not eating. And I notice a difference, like when I do eat closer to my bedtime, I have a hard time falling asleep. So it does make a big difference for me with doing that. And I've also been doing some sun gazing when I can later in the day, like an hour before the sun sets. Joshua told me when it looks like orange and ripe like a fruit. And
I noticed my sleep is all less too. I'm only sleeping like 6.5 hours a day. See, my sleep went from 7.5, 8 to 6.5 hours.
yeah, I've actually been waking up earlier, like naturally.
Right. I want to talk about flexitarianism today.
Okay, so randomly, I've encountered like a couple situations where I've been, given the word. Somebody tells me they're flexitarian, or they're asking me about flexitarian, and so I'm like, okay, well I better check this out. So there's some restaurants that have options that are supposed to be flexitarian.
Oh, is that right? Where's this at?
I think Texas was like
right?
the first restaurant where there was a flexitarian menu. So basically, what flexitarian is, for people who are wondering, is someone who eats a mostly vegetarian diet and occasionally eats meat. Which you might think, okay, that doesn't sound so bad. I mean, to me, it sounds awful.
Dead animals.
Right. But the standard,
We don't eat dead
standard eater might say, oh, that doesn't sound so bad. But
And be crushed.
I'm sorry. But there's no regulation on how much meat is occasional. So you could go from eating animal products 3 times a day, meat 3 times a day, and then change to once a day, and then start calling yourself flexitarian.
What's your whole point about this?
My whole point is...
Because you say they're saying that's a much healthier way to eat, and you said it's not.
I'm saying it's not. I'm saying it's a glorified standard American diet, and if you eat meat, you're not a vegetarian. And if you want to call yourself flexitarian, that's great, but that doesn't really mean anything, because that could mean either you eat meat once a month, twice a year,
When you're eating meat, you're eating someone's brother, someone's sister, someone's aunt, someone's child, someone's daughter. It destroys our being.
And I think also another reason why people are still having this type of diet is that, or they're going back into eating meat and animal products, is because of the animal welfare. Like, oh well, now there's organic meat and organic milk.
Yeah. Still dead.
Hello, it doesn't make a difference. Just because
right.
they're not pumping them with chemicals, it doesn't make a difference. There's no happy cows
like to be
frolicking in a pasture,
Right.
and then all of a sudden they sneak up on them, and that's not the way it works. They're all sad, they're all depressed, they're all imprisoned, they're all tortured. It doesn't matter whether they're organic or not.
Right.
It doesn't make a difference.
Doesn't make a difference.
So if you were a vegetarian and now all of a sudden you're a flexitarian because you think it's okay because there's humane meat, well, there's no such thing as humane meat. Like if you were killing people and all of a sudden you were killing them and storing them and abusing them, and then all of a sudden you came up with a better way to kill people, you wouldn't call it humane.
You can gas them, right?
It just
That's
seems
gas
bizarre.
that makes it a little nicer, right?
So I'm sorry if I'm offending any flexitarians,
Oh, good.
but I think it's one of the most bizarre terms I've ever heard. So,
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay.
And if you're vegetarian, be vegetarian. If you're vegan, be vegan. Don't say, well, sometimes I'm vegan, or I'm mostly vegan. You're not mostly vegan. You
I
can't be
still
mostly
think that most
vegan.
diseases out
You
there.
can't be mostly vegetarian. You are what you are, what you are.
I mean, we both agree. Ideally, it's best not to kill animals. That will affect our well-being on a
Exactly.
day-to-day
It
basis.
affects everybody else's well-being.
That's
Everyone
right.
that chooses to eat animals, you're affecting my well-being because you're polluting my planet.
Right.
It's really rude.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, that's it. Bye.